hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Cassandra, aka The Prosperous Heart, and I have some really great stuff for you today. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Here we go. Wait, oh, that's the wrong thing. Share screen. Awesome. As I said, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Cassandra, aka The Precious Heart, and I have a question for you. First of all, before we get started, when you learn something new today, please be sure to do hashtag level up down below so I can celebrate your wins with you today. If you learn something new, something inspires an idea, right? And if you would like today's training with the replay as well as the show notes, go ahead and put show notes down below, and I'll be sure to send that to you via Messenger. Now, who am I? I am Cassandra the Prosperous Heart. I am simply a human helping humans. My biggest passion in life is to empower others to create success and people like you to generate better results online when it comes to their digital marketing efforts. So, as I said before, I love breaking down someone's learning curve, making the tech things easy, right? Because it can be overwhelming, especially if you're not a tech person, if you don't have the time to learn all the tech things and make things easy for yourself, right? So, who this talk for is for today, if you're looking to feel confident in your marketing efforts, if you're looking to celebrate the fact that you create more time in your life and you're getting more done at the same time, if you are always looking to know where you are in your video marketing process, this Prosperous Heart Marketing training is for you. So you might be thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a tech person. I'm brand new to business. I don't even know, I don't know what I'm doing. You might even be thinking that I don't have time to come up with all these processes and all this stuff, right? Or maybe you might be thinking, why should I even care? So here's why it's really important that you really start taking action on having a process relating to your video marketing strategies for your business. So first of all, according to HubSpot, 81% of businesses use marketing as a tool, which was up from 63% in 2019. That's a huge deal. 6 out of 10 people would rather, well, 10 people that were surveyed would rather watch online videos than TV. By 2022, online videos are expected to make up 82% of all consumer internet traffic. That is 15 times higher than 2017, according to Cisco Systems. Now, why is this important? Facebook executive predicted that they would be all video, no text by 2021. I don't know how, but hey, that's what they're predicting. YouTube is the second most popular site after Google, according to Alexa. And according to YouTube, over 1 billion with a B hours of YouTube are watched on YouTube daily. Think about that. Over 1 billion hours of video are watched every single day on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Viewers retain 95% when they watch something in the video format versus 10% when reading it in text. While everyone has a different type of learning style, right? We tend to remember more about what we see, what we are immersed in, the experience, right? So if you want someone to remember you and your business, you want to be sure that you do it in video format. A website, according to Insidia, is 53 times more likely to reach the front page of Google if it includes video. Now, there's other things like SEO and things like that, but as you can see by some research, it's more likely to be seen by more people if it includes video. And then finally, 64% of consumers will make a purchase after watching branded videos. Again, they make that connection, they like what they see, the endorphins go up. If it's something they want or need, then they're going to buy it, right? They recognize you. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to cover what it means to streamline, as well as the 7 steps to streamline your video marketing process. And Ninja Hack, create an easy and consistent video marketing process using Trello, which is so amazing for so many different things, but I'm just going to be covering this simple process for you today. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. So a little bit of housekeeping here. First of all, thank you so much for being here. You literally could be anywhere else. I appreciate you spending your time and energy with me today and allowing me to share something that might just make a huge difference in the way that you're marketing your business. So go ahead and shut out all distractions, turn your phone off, kick your dog out if they're loud, right? Because you really want to be present with something, because even just one nugget from someone's training might make a huge difference for you in your intentional marketing. I'm going to go ahead and answer questions at the end just so that I can move through this, and I want to be sure that I cover everything before it gets too late. And then finally, how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So let me ask you this. If you're leaning back, just relaxing, right? You're just kind of chill, what does that feel like in the energy in your body? Is that something that maybe you want to go to sleep? Maybe you're just kind of not really tuning in right now, right? Well, what happens if you're leaning forward and you're really intent on every single word that I'm going to say? Maybe just one little thing, one little nugget that I share today is going to break down so many doors for you, right? What is that energy in your body? Is it more exciting? Do you want to hear more? Do you want to do more, see more, right? So the way that you do something is the way that you do everything. So if you really want to learn this today, if you really want to take control and have greater results in your digital marketing, how are you going to approach it? How are you going to be tuning in, right? So how you do one thing is how you do everything. So first of all, what is streamlining? Streamlining is when you are making an organization or some type of system more efficient and more effective by employing faster and simpler working methods. So the 7 steps to streamlining your video marketing process, pretty simple, right? First one, determine each phase to your process. There is phases in everything, right? Let's say you're building a house. Phase 1, what do you want in your house? You want stairs, you want a wraparound porch, you want privacy fence, right? You figure out what you want. So phase 1 might be, you know, planning, and then maybe the ultimate step of that is a blueprint, and then phase 2 is, getting your people and whatever, right? So you have different phases to every process, and so you have to determine what are the phases for your video marketing process. I'll cover what the ones that I use in a minute. The next step is to determine what steps are needed per phase. So let's say that your first phase of your video marketing process is your setup. All right, what does that entail? Coming up with a topic of a video you're going to do, creating your integration of ManyChat or whatever chat bot that you're using to deliver something to your audience, right? What are those steps going to look like for your setup process? And you'll do that for every single phase. Step 3 of streamlining your video marketing process is creating a process Trello board, which we will be covering here in a little bit. Step 4 is creating a Trello template card. I'll cover what that is, how to use it, and how to make it. And then number 5, for every single video that you're planning on creating, you want to create a card from the template. Again, I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Number 6, as you complete each of the steps in each phase, you'll then move the card from each column as you are progressing through the stages of your video marketing process. And then finally, you'll just keep repeating 5 and 6 until you don't want to create content anymore, because you've already created your process. You know where you are, you know what pieces are missing and which ones you need to complete, and you're good. All right, so how to create a Trello board. So this is step 3 in your 7 steps to streamline your video marketing process. And so basically you create a Trello account. As you can see, I have several different Trello boards. Some of them are ideas, some of them are processes, some of them are places for me to kind of brainstorm some things that I'm wanting to do, things like that. And so once you're here, you'll go ahead and click on the plus in the top right of your Trello. It's just that little plus the green mark is, I think it's over here, green mark is pointing to. Then this little window is going to pop up and you're going to click Create Board. From here, you can click the background. You can choose if it's on a team, if it's private, public, whatever. But the moment that you add a board title, the Create Board is going to turn green. I suggest having no team in private, because then you have, as far as I'm aware, an unlimited number of boards. You can also see that if you had a board template, you could just start with the template. All right, so this is what it would look like once you create a new board or something similar, right? You'd have some type of background, you'd have your columns waiting for it, or for you to fill out, right? So step 1 is filling out your, step 1 of the creation of your board is, not step 1, whatever step this is for creation of your board, you are now going to add the phases as different columns in your board. And it might look something like this. So for me and my video marketing process, I have setup, I have promotion and pre-production, I have production, I have automation or post-marketing, i.e. the video is now created. What are those steps that I need to do now that I have that? And then finally completed. That means I've gone through every phase, I've done all the steps, and it's now a marketing machine that runs for me in the background. Of course, I also have to market it later on once the steps in my post-marketing have completed, but it's there for me, and those posts will be, well, forever until internet goes down or something happens to the tech, right? So now that you created your Trello board, we're going to create a Trello template card. So this is step 4 in your 7 steps to streamlining your video marketing process. And basically, no matter what column you're in, you could just click the add card. Now, since this is rather you can do that, but since this is creation of your template card, I was just doing it in your very first phase, whatever you're calling it. You know, I call it, again, I call mine setup. So when you click add card, it then creates that little white box you see there, and you enter the title of your card. Once you do that and press enter or create card, you now see something like this. So on the left-hand side, on the left-hand side, you see that the template weekly videos shows up as a card under my setup process. And now this is the card that I'm creating for my template. So then you'll click checklist. This checklist is going to represent each phase of your process, and each checklist is going to have the different steps for each phase, right? So you click checklist, you add all your phases. I just did some examples here. And then the next thing you'll do is you'll click add item. And that item then brings up whatever you want to create. So in this one, determine your topic, pre-scheduling your live, and I have a whole slew of other items here that I use for myself as well as what I help my clients set up for their process. Then once it's all set up and ready and you have it exactly the way that you want, you'll click this button here under actions and say make template. What this does here is you'll see that it is now a template card. We have a button where you can click create card from template, and you'll see that the card in the setup process lane or column now has a little gray box that says template. So the next step to streamline your video marketing process is for each video, create a card from that template Trello card that you've just created. You just click that little button, and as you see, it pulls up another window and it has the same title. You can uncheck the keep, but I don't know why you would since it's your template. Leave the checklist checked. Leave it in your very first phase, right? So for me, it's setup. And then what I do is I change the template to the date of whenever I'm doing that video. So for this particular video that I'm doing right now, I have mine in year, month, day format. And so you can see I have 2020 07 11, and then whatever the topic was going to be. You'll see that the phases and their steps are all brought over as well. And so that is the beginning of this new process. And so you'll see that the card was added under the template card, and you'll just follow the steps of the streamline process, which now, as you complete every step, you check it off in your checkbox. And once your phase pieces are completed, you move it into the next column. So in this example, you just click it and drag it over to the next column, and you'll see that it is now in the promotion and pre-production phase. Now there comes a time, depending upon how you have this set up, where you might have to move it from setup or promotion to production because maybe you just didn't get time to do all the pre-work, right? So maybe today's the day that you're going live. You have to go live because you're a person of integrity, and so you may have bypassed some of that. But with it being in that card, if it's something that you can do later, like set up your bot, right? Then you can go back and check it off and make sure that you do as much as you can to make sure that this is a streamlined process. Okay, so then you just keep going, right? So every video you create a new card. As you complete the steps, you move it through the process and keep going until you don't have to go anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and let my dog down. There you go, bud. I'm going to go ahead and show you a possible final outcome. This is what mine looks like. So as you can see, I have the same columns for the processes. I have a couple of videos that are in the middle of being completed, right? I have one in post-marketing. I have one that's actually now in production because I'm at this point in time live with you. And then I have cards at the top with little red labels on them. Basically what this is I have created a process that I can share with my clients in order that for them to be able to not have to figure out what are all the things that they need to do within this to be make sure that their stuff is seen, that they have everything integrated, et cetera, et cetera. And so these columns at the these cards at the top of each phase outline what to do for each phase. Right? So you obviously won't have to do that for yourself, but that's why mine looks like the way it does. And as you can see, I have 64 items on most of the cards. I've updated some since the last one I did, but I have 64 items that now with this process are clearly outlined, they're clearly organized, and I can go back and complete them when I have time, right? Okay, so what we covered today, we covered what does it mean to streamline, and streamlining is making an organization or system more efficient and effective by employing faster or simpler working methods. We also covered the 7 steps to streamline your video marketing, which are determine each phase in your process, determine what steps are needed per phase, create a process Trello board, create a Trello template card. That's 4. Yeah. For each video, create a card from the template. As you complete all steps in each phase, move them to the next phase, and then rinse and repeat 5 and 6 until you decide to not do it anymore. So I also showed you a ninja hack on creating an easy and consistent video marketing process on Trello. Now, just because it's easy and allows you to be consistent doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way. It's up to you to take action. It's up to you to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. Even if you can't do it all at once, this allows you to come back and make sure that you cover all your bases. So, did you receive value today? If so, please sprinkle this amongst your community. Give this a heart reaction. Let me know down below. And again, if you have some of these problems, if you're stressed with your video marketing, if you are strapped for time and can't do it all in one day, if you just need some organization so you know where you're at in your process, this training on how to streamline your video marketing was for you. And I would love to know if it helped you today. So every Saturday, if you like what I'm sharing and want to learn more, you can join me live at 2 p.m. Central every Saturday. Just let me know if you want to receive notifications about that. And this is supposed to be show notes. So if you say show notes down below, this will my bot will send you a message, and it will give you information on how to receive the replay of today's training as well as the show notes as well. If you say remind me, unfortunately, the way that bots work, you can only do what's called trigger at a time. So if you do more than one trigger, I will be sure to message you personally to make sure that you get the information you've asked for. But the remind me will send you an note about how to be alerted when I go live next time. So now that we are near the end of today's training, I'm going to go ahead and see if there are any questions. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. I'll send that to you, Jason. I see that you requested it on my personal profile and not the live. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad my insights on marketing have been helpful for you. I have a question here. Is Trello a tool for keeping people with extreme ADHD organized? It can be. I have not been diagnosed myself, so I can't say that I have it, but it could be. So what I would suggest is start this process, right? Go through it and just test it out. You know, does it work for you? What doesn't work for you? And tweak it until it gets to a point where it can be easy for you, right? I don't have ADHD. I'm not very well versed in it, but I do recognize that it can be difficult to stay focused, especially if you have so many things going on at once. So having this process here allows you to be able to come back to it when you have a ability to refocus on it and go, okay, so I did this, check, check, check. I need to still do this. I can do that. And then that way you're keeping track of where you are in your process. I hope that helps. Okay, I don't see any more questions. So thank you so much for joining me today. Again, my name is Cassandra, aka The Prosperous Heart. My passion is to empower you to create greater success in your life, and I do so by sharing my experience, my knowledge, to help you break down your learning curve and make your digital marketing tech easy. So again, thank you so much for having a wonderful Wow. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and prosperous rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. And bye.